Good afternoon to all the BPC students. So here we are in our VSAQs, very short answer type of questions. Today we are going to cover up the chapters biological classification, plant kingdom and science of botany. So here if we start with the first question from biological classification, what is the nature of cell walls and diatoms? Cell walls and diatoms pretty at times asked questions like what is the composition of cell wall of diatoms, about diatomaceous earth or Kesselgar, and about the soap box arrangement of diatoms, that is having epitheca and hypotheca, many at times asked. So here if you see what is the nature of cell wall in diatoms, for any very short answer type of question, if you give an accurate 3 to 4 points is more than enough, 2 to 3 points is also enough, but the answer should be very accurate to the point. So here if you see in diatoms, the cell wall consists of two thin overlapping shells. The upper shell is known as epitheca and the lower shell is addressed as hypotheca. Epitheca and hypotheca. Both these layers will fit together like a soap box structure. They will fit together like a soap box structure. The epitheca is slightly larger while hypotheca is smaller and this fits inside the epitheca. The walls are impregnated with silica. It is having siliceous cell walls which make them rigid and indestructible. And now next question, if you see what is the differences between viroids and viruses? What is the difference? What are the differences between viroids and viruses? Viroids, they contain only RNA but not the protein code. Virus will have the genetic material and the protein code. Viroids are first discovered by Theo Dinier and they are very small when compared to the viruses. Molecular weight of viroids will be smaller than that of viruses. Next, examples of viroid disease, if you see potato spindle tuber disease, tobacco mosaic virus or bacteriophages, these are the examples of what? Viruses. What do the terms phycobiont and mycobiont signify? Whenever the differences or comparative analysis is asked in the question, be it a short answer type of question or a very short answer type of question, whenever a question is asked on differences, on addressing differences or comparative analysis, make sure you will present the answer in a tabulated form. So here if you see phycobiont and mycobiont differences, phycobiont, this is an algal component of lichen. Phycobiont is an algal component of lichen. Mycobiont is the fungal component of lichen. Okay, this is the fungal component of lichen. Nutrition of phycobiont, if you see, this is purely autotrophic nutrition. Mycobiont is having heterotrophic nutrition. Fine, right? And here the role of algae. If you see the amount of percentage of algae in the complete lichen association, algae will be just 5% which will provide food to fungi, and mycobiont, that is fungi, will be 95% that provides shelter to algae. Fine. So here this supplies carbohydrates to the association and this offers both protection and anchorage on the algae. 2 to 3 accurate points are enough for answering VSAQ perfectly. Fine, right? Next, if you see, what do the terms algal blooms and red tides signify? Okay, algal bloom is nothing but excessive growth of blue-green algae, BGA or cyanobacteria. Excessive growth of blue-green algae or cyanobacteria on the stagnant or polluted waters will form what? Algal blooms. Red tides, rapid multiplication of red dinoflagellates. Red tides, rapid multiplication of red dinoflagellates. Algal blooms are caused due to eutrophication. Okay, that is nutrient enrichment of water. Okay, red tides, this is due to sudden population explosion of dinoflagellates. Okay, sudden population explosion of dinoflagellates. Here the example will be goniolax, which causes red tides in the Red Sea. effect here you see, this leads to surface scum, depletion of oxygen and water pollution as well. Next, examples. Examples of algal blooms include Microcystis, Anabina and Oscillatoria. Red tides will form Goniolax, Carenia brevis and Noctiluca. Fine, right? These are the examples of red tides. Next, two economic important uses of heterotrophic bacteria. What are the economic important uses of heterotrophic bacteria? Heterotrophic bacteria like lactobacillus. Heterotrophic bacteria like lactobacillus. These are used in curd formation. These are used in curd formation, that is converting curd to lactose, to lactic acid, converting milk to lactic acid by lactic acid bacteria. Converting milk to lactic acid by lactic acid bacteria. They help in nitrogen fixation in legumes. Root nodules, nitrogen fixation will happen. For example, rhizobium, enriching soil fertility. Some heterotrophic bacteria are also used in fermentation and industry. For example, production of vinegar, antibiotics and enzymes. Fine, right? Production of antibiotics, vinegar and enzymes. Next, what is the principle underlying the use of cyanobacteria in agricultural fields of crop improvement? Some cyanobacteria, they have special enzyme. The cyanobacteria has the enzyme that is dinitrogenase, okay, which is nitrogenase enzyme that will help in the fixing of nitrogen. Nitrogen fixation will occur in specialized cells. Those specialized cells are what? Heterocysts. These are the specialized cells in which dinitrogenase enzyme is present, which functions effectively in the absence of oxygen. This functions effectively in the absence of oxygen. Fine. Enriching soil with their natural nitrogen. Examples include nostoc and anabina. These are widely used in paddy fields to improve the crop yield. Next, plants are autotrophic. Name some plants which are partially heterotrophic as well. Most plants are autotrophic, but some are partially heterotrophic. This is due to nutrition deficiency in their habitat. Some plants are insectivorous. Some plants will be insectivorous and they trap insects to supplement the nitrogen and other minerals. Examples include Dionaea, Venus flytrap, Utricularia bladderwort and Nepenthes, which is the pitcher plant. These are the examples. Fine. Next, this question you look into. Who proposed 5 kingdom system of classification? How many kingdoms of this classification contain eukaryotes? The 5 kingdom classification was proposed by R.H. Whittaker in the year 1969. Okay, it is proposed in 1969. This system will classify organisms into Monera, Protista, fungi, plantae and Animalia. Out of these, 4 kingdoms contain eukaryotes: Protista, fungi, plantae and Animalia. These are the 4 kingdoms of eukaryotes. Fungi is a new kingdom which is introduced in 5 kingdom system of classification by R.H. Whittaker. Next, give the main criteria which is used for classification by Whittaker. What is the main criteria for classification? The main criteria for Whittaker's classification will include 5 main criteria. One is cell structure, thallus organization, mode of nutrition, reproduction and phylogenetic relationships. Amongst this, which is the most important criteria? Mode of nutrition is the most important criteria amongst these 5. That point also you can highlight. Next question. Name 2 diseases which are caused by mycoplasmas. 2 diseases caused by mycoplasmas. Mycoplasmas will cause witch's broom disease. Okay, they will cause witch's broom disease in plants. They are also responsible for pleuropneumonia in cattle. Okay, this pleuropneumonia is caused by mycoplasma. They are addressed as PPLOs, pleuropneumonia like organisms. In humans, mycoplasma will cause mycoplasmal urethritis. Okay, in humans, mycoplasma will cause mycoplasmal urethritis. Fine, right? Remember these two diseases which are caused by mycoplasma. Next, what are slime molds? Explain what is meant by plasmodium with reference to slime molds. Here we go. Slime molds, these are known as saprophytic protists. Okay, slime molds are known as saprophytic protists. They feed on decaying organic matter. Slime molds, during their favorable conditions, they will extend their false feet and they will extend their false feet and increase their surface area. So here you see slime molds, they are saprophytic protists. They feed on decaying organic matter. They have multinucleated mass of protoplasm. Okay, they have multinucleated mass of protoplasm which is surrounded by plasma membrane, but they lack cell wall. Under suitable conditions, individual cells of slime molds, they will aggregate together to form multinucleated cells called as plasmodium. Okay, during unfavorable conditions, plasmodium will develop fruiting bodies. From the fruiting bodies, spores will be released out. These spores will have cellulosic cell wall. Okay, the spores which are released out from the fruiting bodies, the spores which are released out from the fruiting bodies which are arising from the plasmodium, these spores will have a wall, that is cellulosic cell wall. Cellulosic cell wall. Fine, clear till here? Next, third chapter, science of plants. Explain how the term botany has emerged. The word botany is derived from Greek language. In Greek, bous means cattle, bouskin means cattle feed. Okay, bous is cattle and bouskin is cattle feed. From Greek word botany, which is plant, the term botany is originated to study the plants. Fine, right? Now, name the books which are written by Parasara and mention the important aspects discussed in these books. Parasara was an ancient scholar who wrote two important books on the plants. He wrote two important books on the plants. In Krishi Parasaram, he described aspects of agriculture and also mentioned about weeds. In Vriksha Ayurveda, he explained different types of forests and the uses of medicinal plants as well. Who is popularly known as father of botany? What was the book written by him? Theophrastus, a Greek philosopher, is popularly known as father of botany. He made systematic studies on plants and their characteristics. He authored the famous book, that is De Historia Plantarum, which is considered as the earliest work on the plant science. Here, whenever you are attempting this question, any very short answer type of question might be, they will be looking, the answer will be looked for the specific terms, like what is accurately asked, who is the father of botany. Theophrastus is the word which is being looked for, and what is the book that he has published. That's it. Fine, that accurate should be your answer. Who are herbalists and what are the books written by them? Herbalists were scientists who mainly studied and described medicinal plants. They have studied and described medicinal plants. They recorded their knowledge on the special books that contains details of their plants. Such books are known as herbals. Okay, and they served as early references for medicine and botany. They served as what? Early references for medicine and botany. What was the contribution of Carolus von Linnaeus for development of plant taxonomy? Carolus von Linnaeus has proposed sexual system of classification. Sexual system of classification which is based on floral characters. He also introduced and popularized binomial nomenclature system. Binomial nomenclature system for naming the organisms. He is known as father of taxonomy. He is known as father of taxonomy, and he has authored the book that is Species Plantarum. Fine. Next. Why has Mendel considered as father of genetics? Why is he considered as father of genetics? Gregor John Mendel performed hybridization experiments on garden pea. Through these experiments, he discovered the basic principles of heredity, 3 principles of heredity: law of dominance, law of segregation, and law of independent assortment. Need not to mention all the 3 laws that are discovered by him, but then mention out why is he addressed as father of genetics. Fine. Who discovered the cell and what was the book written by him? Cell, of course, the dead cell was first discovered by Robert Hooke. Year, it is your comfort. If you want to mention, you can mention the year, that is 1665. He has observed this from cork cells of what plant? Quercus tuber. Quercus tuber. He coined the term cell to describe box-like compartments he has observed. He has observed some honeycomb structures like this. Box-like structures, honeycomb-like structures. Fine. He described his discovery in the famous book that is Micrographia. Next, what is paleobotany? What is its use? Paleobotany is the branch of botany that deals with study of fossil plants. Paleobotany deals with study of fossil plants. It provides information about ancient vegetation of life, of plant life on earth. It helps in tracing the course of evolution in plants. It helps in tracing course of evolution in plants and their adaptation through geological ages. Name the branches of botany which deals with chlorophyllous autotrophic thallophytes and non-chlorophyllous heterotrophic thallophytes. Phycology is the branch of botany which deals with chlorophyllous autotrophic thallophytes. Chlorophyllous autotrophic thallophytes. Mycology deals with non-chlorophyllous heterotrophic thallophytes. This deals with non-chlorophyllous heterotrophic thallophytes. Thus, phycology is the study of algae and mycology is the study of fungi. Fine. Next. What are the plants which live as symbionts in lichen? Name the study of lichens. Lichen is the symbiotic association between algae, that is phycobiont, and fungi, that is mycobiont. The scientific study of lichens is known as lichenology. Pteridophytes are known as vascular cryptogams. They are known as vascular cryptogams and their study is branch of botany called pteridology. Which group of plants is called vascular cryptogams? Pteridophytes are groups of plants called as what? Vascular cryptogams. They are known as vascular cryptogams because they have vascular tissues but reproduce by spores. They occupy intermediate position between bryophytes and seed bearing plants. Those are gymnosperms and angiosperms. Gymno and angiosperms. The branch of botany that deals with their study is known as pteridology. What is the group of plants which are called as amphibians of plant kingdom? Name the branch of botany which deals with them. So this chapter stands as a basic for many other chapters, be it plant kingdom, be it genetics. Complete discovery parts or the basic introductory parts of each unit will be covered in this chapter. Fine. So here if you see, what are addressed as amphibians of plant kingdom? Bryophytes. Bryophytes are addressed as amphibians of plant kingdom because they live in moist habitats and they need water for reproduction. They form a link between algae and pteridophytes. They form a link between algae and pteridophytes. This shows both aquatic and terrestrial adaptations. The branch of botany that deals with their study is known as bryology. What is the branch of botany addressed as bryology? Next is plant kingdom. What is the basics of classification of algae? Basics of classification of algae. Algae is classified into 3 classes: chlorophyceae, phaeophyceae and rhodophyceae. Based on what the classification is done? Based on cell wall composition, based on pigmentation and based on storage food material. Based on cell wall composition, based on pigmentation and based on stored food that is present in the cells. Next, when and where does reduction division takes place in the life cycle of liverworts? A moss and gymnosperm and angiosperm. When and where does the reduction division takes place? Liverworts and mosses, reduction division occurs in spore mother cells during sporogenesis. In ferns, meiosis also occurs in spore mother cells during sporogenesis. In gymnosperms, meiosis occurs both in microspores and megaspore mother cells. All these statements are important even for your objective. Okay. In angiosperms, meiosis occurs in microspore and megaspore mother cells. Okay. These points or these statements are important for your EAMCET and NEET as well. Next, differentiate between syngamy and triple fusion. This question you can take from sexual reproduction of flowering plants also, which is from double fertilization of angiosperms. So here you see syngamy, fusion of one male gamete with egg cell. Both are haploid. Okay, this gives a diploid zygote. Whereas triple fusion, fusion of one male gamete with a diploid secondary nucleus, which is of n plus n condition or diploid condition. This gives a triploid primary endospermic nucleus. And the role here, it initiates the development of embryo, and here triple fusion, this initiates the development of endosperm. Okay. Next, differentiate between antheridium and archegonium. Antheridium and archegonium. Antheridium, here male sex organ, antheridium is the male sex organ in cryptogamic plants. This is the male sex organ in cryptogamic plants. Archegonium is the female sex organ in the cryptogamic plants. That is gymnosperms. Bryo, pterido and gymnosperms. Cryptogamic plants means what? Bryo, pterido and gymnosperms. And gymnosperms. Examples you see, these are found in bryophytes and pteridophytes, and archegonium found in bryo, pterido and gymno. Clear? Next. Look at this question. What are 2 stages found in gametophyte of mosses? Mention structure from which these 2 stages develop. Structures from which these 2 stages will develop. The gametophyte of mosses will show 2 distinct stages. One is juvenile protonema and second is adult leafy gametophore. The protonema is green filamentous juvenile stage where that arises first. Adult gametophore is leafy and this develops later to bear a sex organs. Protonema develops from germination of spores, while gametophores arise from buds on the protonema. Clear? Next. Name the stored food material found in Phaeophyceae and Rhodophyceae, that is brown algae and red algae. Including with stored food material, mention out what type of food material is stored and examples of this as well. In Phaeophyceae though, the stored food material is laminarin and mannitol. Nature of this will be carbohydrate which reserves in soluble form. Examples include laminaria and fucus. Rhodophyceae or red algae, Floridian starch is the stored food material. Nature is complex carbohydrates. Examples include Polysiphonia and Gelidium. Next, name the pigment which is responsible for brown color of Phaeophyceae and red color of Rhodophyceae. Brown color of Phaeophyceae is due to the pigment, that is fucoxanthin. Fucoxanthin will give you olive green to various shades of brown color. Olive green to various shades of brown color. And Rhodophyceae pigmentation is R-phycoerythrin, which is a phycobilin, that is water soluble pigment. Functions here, this masks chlorophyll giving brown color, this masks chlorophyll giving what? Red color. Example, laminaria, sargassum and fucus. Rhodophyceae example, Polysiphonia, Gelidium and Crassularia. Name different methods of vegetative reproduction in bryophytes. Liverworts vegetative reproduction is by gyma. This is by gyma. Mosses vegetative reproduction is by fragmentation, gyma and budding. Special structures, here gyma develop in cup-like structures called as gyma cups. This occurs through fragments of plant body, gyma and buds. Fine. Examples include, under liverworts this is Marchantia, under mosses examples include Funaria. Fine. And then last questions of today's session. Yeah. Name the integumented megasporangium and which are found in gymnosperms. How many female gametophytes are arranged to form inside the megasporangium? I hope the question is clear to you. He is asking what is the integumented megasporangium which is found in the gymnosperms and how many female gametophytes are generally formed inside the megasporangium. Key description you see. In gymnosperms, integumented megasporangium is addressed as what? Ovule. Integumented megasporangium is addressed as ovule. The ovule develops into the female gametophyte after meiosis. Ovule develops into female gametophyte after meiosis and further growth. Generally, one female gamete is formed inside each ovule. How many female gametophytes? One female gametophyte is formed inside each ovule. Fine. Next, name the gymnosperms which contain mycorrhiza and coralloid roots. Pinus is the gymnosperm which has fungal associations. Pinus will have fungal associations. Okay, those association is known as mycorrhiza, which is a symbiotic association of the root system. This helps to absorb both water and mineral nutrients, and the fungal association, fungal mycorrhiza, will increase the surface area of the roots so that it can absorb maximum water and mineral nutrients. Second is coralloid roots. Coralloid roots is found in cycas These are specialized roots which contain cyanobacteria or blue-green algae. Cyanobacteria or blue-green algae. This helps in nitrogen fixation. Okay, coralloid roots will help in what? Nitrogen fixation. And here what is the purpose? Absorption of water and mineral nutrients. Fine, right? So with this, complete very short answer questions from biological classification. Second is science of botany, and third is plant kingdom. From 3 chapters it is done. In our next session we will be coming up with few more very short answer type of question to build your preparation more strong. Till then, revise these questions and all the best for your exam.